Thousand Words podcast. Join us as we discuss the antics of pro athletes, sports politics, and everything in between. No sport nor athlete is off limits. Now, get you a pitcher of wine and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Lene and Linnell Fletcher, aka the Fletcher Twins. Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of A Picture is Worth 1,000 Words podcast. It's your girl Nelly Nell.
And this your girl Nay. What it do, boo?
That's right. And this is a brand new episode. We have an interesting topic today, but let's just get to the drinks first. I am drinking red wine. What do you got?
I don't got because today is my day to go replenish.
And you haven't yet?
No, because I have to, because they switched Braylon's baseball practice from yesterday to today. So, yeah, I haven't had time to go. There's no time.
Anyway, let's get to the weekend review. So I went to Florida for Edwina's wedding. Shout out to Edwina. Congrats again. But going there was a hassle because my flight was 7:15 in the morning, in the a.m. So I woke up around 5. And when I woke up, I immediately looked. I always search my boarding pass just to make sure everything is on time. It hasn't been delayed or anything like that. And I looked on my boarding pass and it just said canceled in red letters. And I'm like, no, this cannot be happening. I have to be there, right? Long story short, after speaking with a terribly rude airport employee, I finally got to another person in person. I went to the airport at like 4:30. I finally spoke with a nice person and she got me on the flight later that night. So our Friday night plans we couldn't do, but at least I got there that day.
But you missing the whole nitty gritty part of it. So she saw that her flight was canceled, right? And then she texted everybody, and of course I was up because I have to be up so early. She texted everybody and then just said, okay, I'm going back to sleep. I'll deal with it when I get up. And I'm like, do you really want to get here? Like,
I did want to get there, but I was sleepy. I went to sleep around 2 a.m. and had to get up at 5. I'm tired. They had rescheduled me for 1 p.m. Saturday, which would have got me there late for the wedding. And I definitely would have missed it because it did start on time, which is weird.
And so I'm like, why wouldn't she just go to the airport anyway and stand by for the next flight? Because I'm pretty sure there are other flights from Delta or any airlines that you could just go there and stand by. She waited to go to the airport till 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm pretty sure everybody on her flight was already in Florida by that time because they were smart enough to go to the airport and wait. And
I had a canceled flight before, so I didn't know what to do. And I had only 2 hours of sleep. You keep forgetting that. I was tired.
And then after she spoke to the rude lady, she was about to give up and go back home.
Yes, I was.
And then my mama told her, you need to get back in line.
Thank God it was no more line.
And tell them you need to get here. Say you have an emergency, anything. They don't know.
They don't know somebody from one place from a seat just because I got an emergency. But yeah, mama was telling me, she was like, say it's your sister wedding, you the maid of honor, you have to be. She was just telling me to say all kinds of stuff. But the one thing I will say with the rude lady, I literally spoke to her maybe 30 seconds and she kept saying, no, it's no more flights to Florida tonight or Atlanta. Why she said Atlanta, I don't know, because I didn't ask her about Atlanta. And so I talked to her all of 30 seconds and I was like, well, can I at least stand by? Because I know it's one more flight to Fort Lauderdale tonight. And she was like, no, you can't stand by. Your flight is tomorrow. Come early tomorrow and you might be able to stand by for an earlier flight for tomorrow.
But they automatically booked you for that flight. That was the next day, right?
They actually booked me for a Sunday flight. But then I text with somebody from Delta because they do have a text thing you can do. And then I got that Sunday flight rebooked for Saturday afternoon.
That's just terrible.
But yeah, so when I went to the nice lady, she was doing everything she could. She even looked at other airports. She looked at JFK and Newark Airport to see if I could get anything at those airports. And then she just kept working and working. And then finally she found me a seat. Somebody must have canceled at the last minute. And I was grateful. And I got on this 7:59 flight to Fort Lauderdale. So I was very happy. So made it to the wedding. It was started on time. So Diane, she missed the ceremony. But the food was great. The food was great. We did go to Braylon's baseball game earlier that morning. That was the first baseball game I went to. So I was very happy and excited about that. And then Sunday we got to see the movie of the year, as you so call it, movie of
It is.
2022.
It is. It was so good. I mean, you got to be like not even like a movie critic, but like a movie person to notice some of the stuff that I be noticing in movies. Like, first of all, this is a Michael Bay directed film. All right. So right there, if you don't know who that is, then I'm not talking to you. So this is a Michael Bay directed film, and the camera angles in this movie was off the chain. Like,
I remember you said it looks like they use drones.
At some points, it looked like they used drones, and then they were coming through like grass. It was the camera angles was everything in this movie. And I know people don't even be paying attention to that, but yeah,
they don't. But yeah, it was a really good movie, action packed from beginning to end. And even though it was 2 hours and 16 minutes, it was action throughout. So if I closed
like
my
literally
eyes for 2 seconds, and then they punched me in the shoulder.
I did, because you would not miss this.
But I was literally about something, and my eyes just closed, but I was actually up.
But literally in the first, I would say 5 to 10 minutes. Is the bank is the
you gotta be there. You have to be there for the first 10 minutes,
or you gonna miss it. Cause the rest of
the movie, they in the ambulance. That's why it's called ambulance.
Yeah, so yeah, if you don't make it, if you missed them, because I know some people be late to movies and they don't care because like the main stuff ain't happened yet. If you miss them first 10 minutes, you ain't you need to
get another ticket and watch it over.
Yeah, watch the next movie because
but yeah, so everybody go see that movie. It's amazing. It's starring Jake Gyllenhaal and the guy who played Candyman, Yaya something. He has a very long, difficult name, but he's the new Candyman. So
he wasn't the new
He was the new Candyman.
He was the Candyman in the Candyman.
Yeah, did you see it?
I saw it, but I didn't think he was the Candy. I didn't think he was Candyman.
I'm about to Google it now. I'm
Nah, he was in it. Sure. I know that he was in the movie, yes, but he wasn't Candyman.
No, he was.
He was the little kid.
No,
remember he was the little. He was the little baby.
He turned into Candyman at the end. Remember, at the end, he was Candyman. Hey, please tell me you remember the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, he turned into Candyman. And remember, he got bit by something, and his hand was sore throughout the whole movie. That was him turning into Candyman.
I might have to watch that ending again because I don't know.
Remember, she was in the car with the cop, and for her to get saved, she said Candyman 5,000. He came and saved her.
I remember that, but I don't remember him being Candyman. I would have to watch the ending.
Yeah, he turned into, and she had to leave him because he was in the alleyway at the end. He had turned into Candyman. But anyway, yeah, that's him. So let's get into some weekly sports updates. And it's very, very, very sad for us to report that quarterback Dwayne Haskins died over the weekend. He was hit by a car. He was only 24 years old. I really hate that he was so young. We did a story about him and his fiance a few months ago, but 24 is very young. But the only good thing I can say is at least he lived out his dream and got to the NFL. But 24 is very young. Like, he had just started. So condolences to the family. Good news, the Bills and Stephon Diggs reached an agreement for a 4-year, $104 million extension that includes $70 million guaranteed. Ex-NFL coach Brian Flores is joined by coaches Ray Horton and Steve Wilkes in the ongoing discrimination lawsuit against the NFL.
Okay.
UNC men's head coach Hubert Davis has been named Coach of the Year by the National Sports Media Association. And congrats to Ryan Howard. She was selected as the number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft. So she is going to the Dream, and she played at Kentucky. Ryan. You
Sure.
see her name? Ryan. That reminded me of the guy on Real Housewives of Orange County.
Ryan,
Yeah,
Ryan.
Ryan. Ryan. And I'm like, no, sir, your name is Ryan. You can't just change your name and not change it legally. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get into this our main topic, which is foolery. But I'm happy that we can report on it because I was looking for something to report on, and then I stumbled upon it. This fell into my lap. So this is about Cam Newton. He's an unrestricted free agent. I believe he was an MVP like years back or whatever. So he was on a podcast. I swear, all these people, all these podcasts is making us see the real people behind the flashiness and all the glitz and glory. So he said on his podcast, he said, my parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a 3-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother, and I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch, a woman. And then he was like, a bad B is a person that looks the part but doesn't act the part. He said, I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a bad B, I'm this, I'm a that. No, baby, you can't
I'm
cook
a boss.
though. He's like, you can't cook though. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead. You don't know how to cater to a man's needs. Okay. So of course, after that, he got a lot of social media criticism. I'm gonna just give you some tweets that I thought was funny, and then we can give our thoughts about it. One Twitter user said, based on this, I'd argue Cam's the one who doesn't know when to be quiet.
Correct.
Another person said,
second that.
You second that. Another person said, if you can't take care of yourself, just say that.
Exactly. Like, what you talking about? Why you need somebody to cater to you? I don't get it. Are you handicapped? Do you need a guardian, a court-appointed guardian?
Like that movie? Another person said, the same man who laughed at a female reporter for a valid question said something misogynistic. I, for one, am shocked. And then another one said, sounds like it's my turn to sound off about men who can't pass or win a Super Bowl.
Oh,
that stung. Okay. Anyway, so what are your thoughts? Because I'm kind of I agree and disagree with stuff he said, but what are your thoughts first?
First of all, I'm tired of these men, especially
the
black
NFL player. Like, you ain't even relevant.
You ain't got a job.
You need a job.
I'm tired of these men, especially black men, going on these platforms and showing their natural ass. Okay, they want, like, to me, it's all about. And I guess this is a man's world, but still, it's like it's all about them. Like, what are you? If I'm cooking for you, I'm cleaning, and I am bringing home money. Since he said, they say I'm a boss B, so I'm bringing home money. I'm cooking and I'm cleaning. What are you doing for me? I'm cooking from scratch. I'm cleaning up. Are you going? Can you go outside and build me a house? Not pay for construction workers. I want you to go outside and start laying the bricks and build me a house. Because if not, in that case, I can pay for a maid and a housekeeper and a chef. So what are you? And a landscaper. What are you? And half of the men nowadays don't even know how to cut grass. I know how to cut grass. I don't know if
the rest of Black Love last night, and the couple you said was corny with the yellow and blue. He didn't know how to cut grass, but the girl did, and they
exactly, because half of that's what I was gonna say. Half of these guys out here don't even know how to cut grass, but you want me to know how to cook? Like, it's so one-sided to the point that it's ridiculous. And why do I have to cater to you? Like the tweet said, you a grown man. Why do you need somebody to take care of you? You're not a baby anymore, Cam. You're not a baby anymore. Take care of yourself. You learn how to cook. That way you ain't dependent on somebody else.
Correct.
And it's these mamas out here that's babying they kid to in their 20s and 30s. No, teach them how to cook, just like you teach your daughters how to cook and clean up and use the washing machine. Because I know some grown people don't know how to use a grown men that don't know how to use a washing machine, even though the instructions are on the washing machine. But that's a different story. But yeah, no, if you can't build me a six bedroom, 2-story house with 5.5 bathrooms with your 2 hands, your
And that's
two
it.
hands,
That's it. Nobody
then
else.
then you can't come to me about no cooking and no cleaning. And I am a bad bitch. And yes, I know how to cook, but I'm not cooking I don't cook gourmet meals.
No.
Okay. I don't care to, I don't know how to, and I don't care to learn how to. So you gonna eat this spaghetti and meatballs and call it a day.
Oh my God. That is so funny. That reminds
Don't
me
eat
of
these frozen chicken tenders and chicken wings that I put in the microwave for you, and you gonna call it a day unless you gonna go outside and build me that 2-story house.
That's so funny because that reminds me of this guy recently cooked for me, and he literally took 3 hours in the kitchen to cook. He's from the Caribbean, so I guess they know how to cook. But anyway, I agree with some things he said, and I don't with other things. So, like the first thing he said about his parents being together for 36 years now is a beautiful thing. He grew up in a 3-parent household, and he knew what a woman was. But he did preface by saying a woman to me. So I'm gonna just he did do that disclaimer. But my thing is, okay, you saw your mama probably cooking and your dad bringing home the money and providing, but you don't know if your mama was happy.
That's what I was
Just
gonna
because
say.
she
She
stayed
not
for
gonna.
36 years, like you don't know what the ins and out of their relationship. You don't know if she truly happy. A lot of people, women, especially back in those days, they just stayed because they had to. They didn't have a choice. But that doesn't mean they were happy.
They didn't have the resources we have now. And again, if I'm doing all this, I need to know what you bringing to the table, because it's not the penis. Because guys, in case y'all didn't know, it's not as good to us as y'all think it is.
Oh.
It's not. Okay. So that's not a benefit to us. Okay. Yeah. And I'm tired of these guys having these 1920s, 1950s mindset, but then want us to pay for half of the bills.
Correct.
So the only women that should 100% like do everything he said, they can't work. If they all about you and catering to you, they can't work. So,
but then you would call them a bum bitch if they not doing nothing.
Or if y'all break up and they try to take half.
Yeah. So like, what is it? Do you want to stay at home, or do you want the person that's working? Because if you want the person that's working, you're going to have to put more effort in than just you working.
Yeah, that's all. They think they can work and just come home, sit on the couch and drink a beer. But we got to work, come home, cook, clean, wash the laundry, mow the lawn, take care of the kids, mow the lawn, paint the house, change the tire. Like, we got to do all this.
He talking about they look the part, but don't act the part.
What is the part?
Exactly. And then I didn't like what he said. Well, you don't know when to be quiet. Are we supposed to be mute? Do you want somebody you could just walk over and say whatever you want to say to, and they just say okay, or they just leave the room? They're not going to be happy. So you're going to be happy in your relationship, but your woman not going to be happy.
They don't know.
You want that one-sided relationship, because that's crazy.
He don't know what it's like not to say how he feel. Okay, if you keep everything bottled in, you gonna go crazy. You might commit suicide because you would rather be dead than to be in this world where your opinion don't matter. You can't say nothing. You always gotta bite your tongue. So put yourself in. As much as he doing all this talking because he ain't got no job and he ain't got nothing else to do, you need to put yourself in the position of what if you couldn't talk? Like, what if you couldn't talk at all? Like, I don't know
when to be quiet. Like, am I just supposed to take it? And like, I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but you gonna hear what I gotta say.
Yeah, he don't want to date a black woman because we have our opinions and they will be heard.
To me, and I only saw this clip, so I don't know the full context, but to me, he basically said everything and fell short of black women. And I'm gonna tell you why. I think I don't know for sure, but I do think he is taking his frustration out from his 2 baby mamas on the rest of the world. So he got 4 kids from a stripper, and then another one from an IG model.
What?
Yes. So he did go on and say something about it, you live in this. He said he didn't want to sit behind a mic and criticize women, but he wanted the men to start being men. And he said that sucker shouldn't be rewarded. When a person carries himself social media rise, and it's a fraud in real life. Every person who got money, every person who's rich isn't a real one. And I think that kind of gets misconstrued in this society now, because a lot of people have money, but they're not genuine people, which is true, because social media isn't real life. That I can't agree with him on that. But that's why I also think he's talking about his 2 baby mamas. Like, you had 4 kids. First of all, you want this old traditional marriage, but you had 4 kids and you wasn't married, sir. So what's your problem? You the problem too. You make it having all these baby mamas and you leaving the home. You talking about how you had a 3-parent household, but you leaving your kids with 1 parent. Like, you need to look in the mirror. You can't ask for something and you're not doing it yourself. Like, you beating up on all these women, but you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, your baby mama's probably on Instagram like they got money and it's probably all yours because you didn't make wise decisions.
That's your
But
fault. That's a
your
you
fault.
problem.
That's a you problem. Like you said, you don't need to be going on this podcast basically downgrading these women because they want to be boss bees. Let them be boss bees, because some boss bees know how to cook and do all that too. They can do it all and still don't get credit.
I remember I think you watched this season of Married at First Sight. It was a black couple. So the black man said he wanted a traditional wife.
I would have said you need. Sorry. Go ahead.
Like in the interview, when they interview him. So one of his thing was traditional wife. And they matched him up with this black girl that she made money and she knew how to cook. And so her thing with him was, because he will always say, like, basically he just wanted to work and pretty much nothing else. And she was like, I don't mind cooking like every day or whatever. It's just that I don't want every day you to expect. Yeah, she was like, I don't want you to expect me to cook. I don't want it to be like like you have to do this. Like, this is your job. You have to do it every day. Yeah, she was like, I don't mind cooking, and she cooked really well, but I just don't want you to like it to be expected. Yeah, like, y'all can take some work from your wives, and y'all will have a more satisfying life, especially in the sex department. Because on Black Love, they were talking about it too. Like, you see this lady working all day, then dealing with the kids all day, and then cooking, and then here you come. You want some loving. No, I'm tired. If you deal with the kids while I cook, maybe when I get done, I won't be as tired. But if you sitting on the couch watching TV or playing video games or trying to get signed with another team and not helping me, this is not gonna work. You need to help. It's a team. It's a team. He mad. He just mad that he got played by 2 boss bitches, and now they taking his money, which is dwindling as we speak. Yes, it is. And so he taking it out. So now he look at it like that. But that's his fault. Ain't nobody tell you to be with a. He need to take accountability with his part in it. Because if he saw that 37-year marriage, he should have known when he met the first girl, oh, this is somebody I would like to marry. But then in another interview with Brittany Renner, I remember he said he wasn't ready for that because he was basically going to cheat, which is great. Then don't have babies with her. Like, I swear, he probably blamed her for getting pregnant. I hate when boys do that. Because they do. And it's like, how can talking about she trapped me with a baby? How? Was you not there? Did she get a turkey baster and get your sperm? Like, how did this occur? I don't understand. She trapped you with a baby, or she meant to get pregnant? How is that? How? Because you have to be involved. Correct. You can't get pregnant on your own. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry if y'all out there who thought that, but a lady cannot get pregnant by herself. So stop saying that she meant to get pregnant. Don't nobody want your nappy-headed kid anyway. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I do think he has a point about social media not being real, because in real life it's different. He do have a point about that. But I also think if you do want this traditional marriage or whatever, then find somebody who want that witch as well. She ain't gonna have to look. Remember, oh my God. Remember on that clip that we seen, and dang, on that podcast where you ain't like the guy because he
Yeah.
basically, I forgot what the girl was saying, and they was like, she does exist, but she
Under the
she have low
overpass.
self-esteem. She was naming all this stuff. She have low self-esteem. She don't look good and all this and all that.
And they
It
do
was so
exist,
funny.
but so don't try to date somebody that look like an IG model, but want somebody to act like Miss Mary Bell Sue at the church. That's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
Not Mary Bell Sue, not
Mary
Sister Sue.
Bell Sue. Sister Sue is a rare breed. So you gonna have to deal with the looks, and she might look 50 when she 20, but that's fine.
I've seen
She
some
gonna cater
people.
to your needs.
We've seen some people that's like 20 and 30 that look like they 60 because they look like they've had a rough life and they
been
worn out.
Yeah.
These men can wear you out.
And people, a lot of women, and I'm just saying this, but a lot of women are in relationships, but they're not happy. Just because your parents been together 50, 60, 70 years does not mean that both of them are happy. That's all I'm gonna say.
No. And then the wife do all this stuff that you want them to do, and then you still end up cheating on them. So it's like all for what?
So
Because
exactly.
I've know someone who that happened to, like doing everything and still get cheated on.
Because it's not, because they say they want that, but then they want change every few years, but they so scared to tell their person what they want. So then they end up going and get it anyway. Just like this guy I used to know was married early on in his 20s. He's divorced now, and he's like 40 now. And he told me one day that he had wanted to experience threesomes and stuff with his wife, but because of society, he would never bring it up to his wife. And I told him, I was like, that's stupid. Society not in your bedroom. You don't know, your wife probably would have agreed with it and wanted to do it too. You don't know that because you never brought it up. Talking about because society sleep with you at night? Is society in your, like, who would have known that y'all was having threesomes unless you told somebody? Like, that's so stupid. But men are so, sometimes they don't really tell people what they really want because they scared of the person's reaction, and then they just end up doing what they want to do. But for Cam Newton, y'all need to run. Cause
he's another one.
Cute. Yeah, he's
Character
another one
flaws.
y'all need to be careful around. He is cute. He probably got money, but unless you want to be this traditional 1950s old school wife and treated like getting walked over, y'all need to go to the other side of the hot wall when y'all see him, okay?
Yeah, cross the street,
Because
please.
I don't know why he thought a stripper and the IG model was gonna cook gourmet meals every night and be quiet.
No.
But you better go to the library and find you a tutor, somebody, because
A librarian. Kramer found him a librarian.
and she was cute.
Yeah, because you got it's a what is it? It's what is that term? Oh my goodness, not give and take, but it's a trade-off. You want the looks or you want the cooks. Okay. You can't get it, don't go both go together. So choose which one you want and then come back. Okay.
That's funny. I'm just mad that he didn't talk about, I mean, he stretched on the surface a little bit of men. He said the men are suckers or whatever, and they not, I guess, what did he say again? Hold on. Men need to start being men. What are you talking about? You got the only definition of a man? Like, stop. But the only thing I'm mad at is he didn't say what he was to do. Well, at least in the clip I saw, he didn't say what he would bring to a relationship. He's only upset that the women he probably dealt with don't bring nothing to the relationship but looks and probably good sex. Oh yeah, you might compromise the sex if you want to cook too, because she might be lame and bad, sir.
And also, did you have these conversations with them before you decided to hop in bed with them?
No.
These are conversations you need to have, because from day one, if you tell me you want a traditional wife, then I'm shooting up the deuces, because that ain't me. Let's not waste each other's time. Okay, because time is not on our side.
It's not. My pet peeve is wasting time. Like, I need to know upfront what your intentions are, and then I may ask you a month later, and then a month, the next month. Like every month, we need to check in with each other just to make sure we're on the same page. Cause maybe month 1 you want a girlfriend, but by month 3 you're like, it's not really for me. I need to know before we go further. But yeah, Cam need to get a job and get some business. He need to stop sleeping with these people, and he need to take care of his kids. Talking about 3-parent household, but you leaving your kids in a 1-parent household. That's stupid. You're, what is it called? Hypocrite. You're a hypocrite.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm just mad that you got played, and it is what it is. Make smarter decisions next
players
time.
F up. Like, then who said that? Day players F up. It's okay. You just got to get yourself up and dust off. This time when you go on the first date, ask that lady, is she gonna be traditional? Is she gonna cook and clean for you and cater to you? I hate that word. And be quiet. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's a team like, you want her to serve you, you got to serve her too. Like, rub her feet, do the nice little thing. Women are very simple. They always say men are simple, but at least in my case, I'm very simple. My love language is acts of service. Rub my feet, rub my back, take out the trash, cook once in a while. I'm very simple. Like, ain't nobody want you to go get the moon for me. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good on earth.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it's time for our highlight of the week. And this is a good one. It's going to Steph and Aisha Curry. So they are building 150 little libraries all over Oakland, California. So they joined CarMax at Franklin Elementary School to refresh the playground and to launch their first Eat, Learn, Play Little Town Library. So over 50,000 books are coming to the Bay Area. They are promoting literacy and trying to bring the love of reading directly to the kids and families of Oakland. So on Aisha's Instagram, she wrote, with 150 little town libraries spread across Oakland, each will house free books available for kids and families to enjoy and share. And they put this little video on both of their, on Steph's Instagram page, and it's so small, like it's like a little library, it's like a little box. And they put it on the playground and they fill books in, and the kids can come take a book. They can keep the book if they want, but they can return it also.
They have those at the parks we go to. They have one at the park that Braylon's practicing at today in a few minutes. They have them there.
That's so cool. I saw the video. I was like, look how little that is. And it was great. They doing great for the community at large. So yeah. Aisha a bad bitch, and she know how to cook.
Thank you. Got her own cookbook. She got the looks. Do she got the looks?
She got the looks. She got her own cookbook. She got her own cookware line. She got a restaurant. So, hey, don't act like they don't exist. It's just that you might not get it because you might not deserve an Aisha. Steph deserves an Aisha. They serve each other, okay? He not trying to make her a maid, and she not trying to make him He-Man that pay all the bills. It's a give and take. It's a team. You want somebody to go with somebody who 80 years old like your mama. That she'll cater to you. 80-year-old women will cater to your young ass.
Cause they ain't doing nothing else. They ain't doing nothing else. Be up 5 o'clock in the morning cooking dinner.
And on that note, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of A Picture's Worth 1,000 Words. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of A Picture is Worth 1,000 Words with yours truly, the Fletcher Twins. Make sure you join us every week and rate, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit up our email at podcast.1000words@gmail.com with any questions or topics you'd like to hear us cover. Also, check us out on IG at The Fletcher Twins and Facebook at A Picture is Worth 1,000 Words.